Yeah, I mean, once I knew that I was subbing in, at that point I was positive we were going to close it out. I mean, you don't score goals against three big center backs, very often. So, um, it was more around the time that Jordan scored that we were warming up, and I was kind of processing scenarios. If we scored, if they scored, and then as soon as he scored, I knew it was going to happen after that.
What does this accomplishment mean to you after all these years, and especially having this be your last season?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any weight added onto it. I've been fortunate to win a couple championships here. Lots, lots and lots of trophies. This is just kind of cake. I think it's more. I think it's more just a testament to the guys in the locker room, being able to shut out a bunch of noise as the season progressed, and we weren't quite playing up to our capabilities. So it's really just it's great for the young guys. I mean, I was telling Tony that I hope his career goes up from here, but I'm not sure it could get any better than this year.
Sure. Zach, you shared a really special moment with Brian Schmetzer in the locker room with the champagne. How much does it mean to share this moment with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's you guys have heard it before, but he's a player's coach, and that's really the change that happened. It became less of a coach's versus players thing, and more of, hey, if we're going to do this, it's got to be collaborative. And he really drove the players to make the change. He said there's nothing we can really do as coaches. It's got to be you guys here in the locker room that find the results to get us into the playoffs and now on the run that we've had so far. So it's just been great. I mean, I love Brian. He's been instrumental in my career, and I see the way he takes a lot of young guys under his wing. I mean, he wants to see them succeed.
There's so much movement in professional sports, MLS included, and yet you've been here this long. I mean, what enabled you to want to come back to this franchise year after year after year, other than your contract?
Yeah. Well, you guys know my contract, so it definitely wasn't money. I'll tell you that. Just you hear that all the time, that the best thing in the world is being in a locker room and being in a team environment where you love the guys that you work with, or in this case you love the guys that you play with. And that's been a real Sounders mantra for years and years, is that we don't look for only good soccer players, we look for good people. And that's been the one consistent thing. As much turnover as there is year to year, it ends up being guys replaced with great personalities and fantastic soccer players actually as well. So it's just been a lot of fun, and it's great that it's got the potential to end with another championship. But that being said, there's not going to be a head hung realizing what we did in the fashion that we did it.
Looking at that game last night, the conditions they were playing in, and knowing a week from now it's going to maybe be 15 degrees. Playing in that cold.
Yeah, it's fortunately both teams have to do it, so it's not going to be an advantage to either one of us. It's going to be tough, and it would have been fantastic to play in front of our fans in much better weather than that. But I think we're really excited for the opportunity. We know we're facing a great team, and regardless of whether or not the field is frozen, we're gonna be ready to play.
What do you make of the matchup you guys have with Toronto and all the attackers they present? Giovinco, Bradley, Altidore.
Yeah, I mean, you saw last night's game. I mean, the amount of opportunities they had, regardless of the number of goals that they scored. I mean, they were just creating chances left and right, and it was a pretty open game. And hopefully, it doesn't turn into that when we go there. But we're expecting them to, send numbers forward, especially at home and with their crowd behind them.
As you said, you've won championships as a Sounder before. How would the significance be any different, if at all, being an MLS championship versus a USL one?
Well, just because that's the one thing that we haven't done yet.
Yeah.
Our ambition obviously is to win an MLS Cup. It's to do well in the Champions League, because that's an international tournament. But first and foremost, it's winning that cup, because that's been the most elusive at this point. So that's the nearest goal, because it's coming up here in a week. So we're excited for that, and to give it back to the club and give it back to the fans.
Being a leader of this team, what is your role coming into a game this big in regards to maybe giving some advice to the younger players or anything that matter?
Yeah, I mean it's very, very true that it is just another game. I mean, you got to worry about yourself first, your preparation, and then what your role is on the team, and do that to the best of your ability. I mean, whether it's being a defender first and defending, keeping the score sheet to 0, or being an attacker and being able to give us an opportunity to go ahead. I mean, I think the young guys are very level-headed. The guys that we have. I mean, you've seen them out here. I mean, they're more than capable pros at this point, especially the way that the season's been and the adversity they've had to push through. So there's really, at this point, there's not much more other than do your job and enjoy this.
What do you think it would mean for Brian's place in sort of Seattle soccer history if he's able to be the coach that does get it over the line here and, like you said, and grab that trophy that has kind of eluded this team?
Yeah, geez, there's really not much more that he could accomplish, with who he is in the Seattle community and the Seattle soccer community. So maybe this will give him that international pedigree that when players are looking to come here in the future, they see, hey, this guy helped turn a Sounder season around and won them a championship in his first year. So we'll get that much notoriety as a club because of what he's been able to accomplish.
Is it all funny for you that after all your time in the league and in pro soccer, everyone on the team is in uncharted waters here, that none of you have been to an MLS Cup and you're doing it together?
Yeah, it's a little bit odd that it happened like that, and especially in my last season. But again, it's this group of guys, just really believing that we could do something special and really grasping this opportunity. So again, we're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Slightly random question, but I've been asking some of the guys. Who do you room with on the road, and how would you sort of describe your roommate dynamic?
I room with Freeberg. There's some stories. I don't know if I can share them, but there's definitely some stories. He's great, though. I mean, I'm gonna miss the road trips because it's a very unique experience, and especially with a guy like that, the character that he is. But just getting to know him and his family has been an absolute joy, and I hope there's he's many more years for him to come in a Sounders jersey.
As this guy, I don't know if you recognize him.
Yeah, he's.
What do you remember about the inaugural season? I mean, what was your highlight?
Oh, just so much uncertainty going in that year, not only personally, but just how the city was going to embrace the club, how the club was going to be run. The most vivid memory, I'm sure you guys have heard, is coming out of the tunnel and just seeing the crowd with those scarves up. I mean, that was it's so seared in my psyche at this point that, it was just, a truly, truly surreal experience. And it's the fact that it's gotten better from year to year is just that much more fulfilling. And, to be frank, I'm going to be excited to watch games here in the future, with my kids from the stands and from a different perspective, I guess, because that's really been what sets Seattle apart from everyone else. It's just, the fans are that much more engaged and knowledgeable.
Do you, Brad, and Ozzy have kind of a special bond as the original guys, and have you talked to them at all about the significance of you guys kind of coming through from the beginning?
Yeah, not so much talking about it, but more of kind of an unspoken understanding, I guess, of what it means to the city, to the club, to the players that come in year to year. What it means to be a Sounder. We know there's a lot of success and a lot of expectation that comes with being a Sounder, but it's better than being part of a group that doesn't expect to win trophies from year to year. So. If anything, I think it's more of an unspoken leadership than it is something that we are very in other players' faces about, on the team. So, but it's 3 guys after 8 seasons left. That's still very rare to happen. So it's great that it has the potential to, well, in my case, end for the 3 of us with pulling in that MLS Cup.
And not to ask you about the conversation, but you had a cool moment in the locker room, the 3 of you on Sunday. Was that just a bonding as here you are in the final after 8 seasons?
Yeah, it was more of a looking at that cup full of champagne and being like, geez, how many of these do we have, and trying to go through all the different trophies that we've won together. So it's kind of fun. I'm pretty sure we missed a couple here or there. Maybe some preseason ones that we should throw in there. But, yeah, it was just – it was kind of fun. And, again, it couldn't happen with a pair of better guys. Brad and Ozzy are Sounders through and through.